Fall is in the air, and for some, that means pumpkin spice. While I am a fan of pumpkin spice, what fall means to me is Halloween. And with Halloween conjures up costumes, candy, and all things spooky. I'm Julie Patterson, broker-owner of Gateway Properties, and we are a boutique real estate brokerage right here in Placer County. And we're going to take a look around at some spooky mischief right here in Placer County. Come with us. Ghost towns and cemeteries are always a little spooky, and Placer County has its fair share. Now, ghost town doesn't necessarily mean you'll find it full of ghosts, but you certainly won't find a lot of people living there. Almost due south of Immigrant Gap is one of the largest ghost towns in Placer County, one with an ironic name, Last Chance. Last Chance was one of several gold rush towns that just simply did not survive. While it was once a thriving community located in the El Dorado mine operation, the community dwindled, and now the only evidence there was of a community is a few wells, cellars, and one cabin. Maybe a ghost or two, who knows? You'll never know until you visit. If you really want to see a ghost, maybe one of the best places is Napa. Napa, you say? Well, yes. It's only a couple hours away, and you'll find wine and ghost tours. You have a couple of tours to choose from, and their main feature is the Napa Downtown Ghost Tour. Each tour offers a unique perspective of the history of the area. The tour is full of folklore, mystery, and spooky fun. Hear the ghost tales and tour the haunted locations as you explore the dark side of Napa. You should also check out the Sonoma tour and discover the bloody past of the Sonoma area.
Here in California, you can find quite a few cemeteries that with reported hauntings, strange happening, ghosts, and more. Here in Placer County, Manzanita Cemetery is one of the older ones, and it dates all the way back to 1850.
There are two main stories linked to Manzanita, one a little more on the weird side, and one on the extremely creepy side. The first legend dates back to the 1800s when a wildfire swept through nearby Lincoln, and the fire wiped out everything in its path, except mysteriously, the cemetery. The cemetery remained completely untouched. In more recent times, many have reported whispers when no one is around, weird orbs of light, and even one report of a ghost lying in wait in an open grave. Are the stories true? Who knows? Maybe you should visit, but watch where you're walking. You don't want to fall on top of one of the ghosts.
If you're looking for a cemetery on a grander scale, head to the Sacramento Historic City Cemetery. With over 25,000 graves and ornate tombstones, you're sure to find some ghostly happenings on some of these 44 acres.
The cemetery began as a 10-acre area and has grown over the years. One of the first burials of the cemetery was a mass burial of an epidemic that had swept the area. No one knows where the real location of the mass burial is. The dead are only commemorated with the monument. Maybe some of the restless spirits walking the cemetery are from the epidemic, looking for their final resting place. Take some time gazing at the variety of tombstones, from the small markers to the massive mausoleums and everything in between. Maybe you'll hear some whispering spirits. And as you wander, be on the lookout for a spirit of a young girl looking for her home, or a train engineer who saved the lives at the expense of his own. The cemetery closes at 5 p.m. Maybe that's because the haunted happenings are too much for the public, and it's a little safer to visit during daylight hours. Sometimes cemeteries are moved for progress to happen, like the case of the Placer County Courthouse. The location of the Historical Courthouse Museum is actually the old location of the first cemetery in Auburn. The bodies were moved 2 different times in order to build the wooden courthouse that came before this one, until their final resting place in the old Auburn Cemetery. As sometimes happens when you move cemeteries, you may forget a body or two, which can definitely cause some restless spirits. The courthouse was also the location of the gallows, and often criminals were buried near where they fell. With so many unmarked graves, it's no wonder why there are multiple ghost stories linked to this site. The museum is now located in the old Placer County Courthouse and has its own restless spirits, some linked to the cemetery, some linked to the history of the building itself. One of the spookiest stories is linked to the sad history of the death of a 3-year-old son of a county jailer, and he tragically fell to his death at the courthouse. Multiple sightings of a little boy have happened inside and in the museum. Once the ghost even set off an alarm and left a child-sized handprint on the glass case.
Are you looking for mischief? Maybe you should head to one of the most talked about haunted places in Placer County, Dyer Lane. There are so many urban legends, ghost stories, and all kinds of creepy things that happen here. At least one of them has to be true, right?
Older stories date back to the 1800s where a family was massacred. Some say by the mother, some say by the father, but either way, a tragedy that surely left a mark. Over the years, there have been many tragedies that have happened on or near Dyer Lane that could have definitely led to hauntings. A wicked car crash leaving a wandering ghost, a ghost police officer looking to pull you over, or even a ghost tractor that drives you off the road. With so many stories, you better watch out before you decide to visit Dyer Road. I'm Julie Patterson with Gateway Properties, and my team and I, we live here, we work here, and we love it here, and we want you to love where you live too. If you have any questions about this video or anything else in Placer County, including housing, the amenities, or any of the great things that we have in our communities, do not hesitate to reach out. My information is listed below. See you soon.